So, the idea is about the magic of filmmaking and the different things people mean when they say magic, in regards to filmmaking especially. So Penn Jillette was quoted in a Washington Post article that I actually found through a Slashfilm article. And that article is 25 people from different professions, I think it was 25, could have been 10, talking about which films most accurately represented their profession. And it's a cool article. I'll put it down in case anybody actually feels like taking a look at it. But the one that was the most interesting was Penn Jillette, famous magician from Penn and Teller. He was talking about which film most accurately represents magicians. I would have thought that he might dismiss some of the other magician films, but probably would go for The Prestige. But the film he actually went for was The Dark Knight. And his explanation for it was really, really cool. I'm gonna read it verbatim. In The Dark Knight, with the Joker and Batman, you really have two magicians running scams. I love the intellectual interest of the boat scene, in brackets, where there are two boats laden with explosives and a philosophical debate about who should survive. When you talk about modern American magic, it's not supernatural. It's the playful study of epistemology. It's how we attain information and how we attain what is true. In the boat scene, it's how people perceive morality coupled with an impossible trick. The ultimate American magician is Batman. There was a sentence in there of the playful study of epistemology that I thought was really cool and got at the heart of part of what makes filmmaking interesting to me. It also kind of got at part of the heart of what makes filmmaking meaningful, which is more meaningful than interesting to me. The idea of meaning has kind of been my driving obsession behind what's the point of making art or making films or doing improv or taking photos or most things really. Even things that are not art related. I think a lot of it comes down to meaning. At least right this second, that's what I think. Here's a little more about Penn Jillette talking about magic. You have to be careful when you use the word magic. The word has two very strong meanings. The meaning I don't care about is anything to do with the supernatural. So I don't care for movies like The Illusionist or The Prestige or Harry Potter. I do, but that's a separate thing. The magic I think is beautiful is the magic of trickery. What I love about Batman is he doesn't have any supernatural powers. This sort of ties to an idea from Bresson. Make visible what without you might perhaps not have been seen. That ties to another idea that I found interesting, which was the idea of looking for the meaning that's already there instead of trying to create a meaning. Not because you can't create a meaning, but because there is so much meaning that is already in most situations and things, and that if you look for it and look at it from a certain angle and find the meaning that's already there, there's something to that. And I think that's part of what filmmaking is about, and that's why this whole epistemology aspect of it feels powerful to me, because it gets at the side of filmmaking that as a director really draws me in, which is how you combine the different images and the juxtaposition of them to create not just a story, but to get at what the film is actually about on the micro level, and then several like macro levels all kind of coming together in this weird, not a shape, like a matrix of meaning sort of, and that every visual choice you make adds to that, especially if there's intentionality there. It doesn't have to be pre-planned. Some of it is pre-planned, but there's a level of intuition and a level of the conceptual work there. But anyway, yeah, that quote from Penn and Jillette just got my mind racing about a bunch of these other connections here. And I know this is a little bit of a scattered thought, but I just wanted to put it down on camera in case I found it valuable later.